It's funny that you mentioned McBride in the starting lineup. I've been preaching that ever since Hart made it known that he doesn't want to be in the
Yeah.
starting lineup where he feels lost. And, I know Hart trolls and I get he does. They did something similar to that last year where he said he has no role in the offense, right? And then he started to blossom. Maybe it's like that, but I've never heard somebody say lost before. So that was a little concerning for me. And even Jalen Brunson acknowledged the fact that he even took the blame. He said, it's on me. I have to be better, as a captain to kind of lead this team, in a better way. So, just it's curious to me that, we're talking about Miles McBride entering the lineup because I feel like with Achua gone now, you need rebounding on the bench. You put Hart there, you get the rebounding. He's more free to play coast to coast basketball like we usually see him do. And then Deuce, he's not hesitating anymore to your point. He catches it, he's shooting that ball. And most times it's going in. So I absolutely agree. It's concerning though. Any thoughts on just Josh Hart saying he's lost in the
Yeah.
offense there?
Listen, he is a little bit of a drama queen, and I think he's someone who likes the attention. And he knew if he said this, there'd be headlines about Hart. 2 points all preseason. He obviously, I think he averaged about 13 points in the postseason. He did everything out on the court, including score. And I think he's frustrated, and I think it was a cry for help. And I think he's signaling to Thibodeau, I won't be crushed if you brought me off the bench where I might be able to have a bigger offensive role and help the team more. It's not crazy. And Miles, listen, people close to Miles say he's always that's his goal is to start. His goal is to be a starting guard in this league. And I think with his new 3-point shot, I think he's earned it. And he's a great defender. Listen, Brunson and Miles, it's undersized, but they won when they started that lineup. It's a winning lineup. Both are winners and both are gritty. And Miles is just a supreme defender. I mean, no matter what his height might be, he's a great backcourt defender. I would like to see it. I mean, listen, they could start off in Boston with Josh, obviously, but
Right.
listen, if Josh is still feeling unhappy, and you need him to be happy, and because he does everything, he gets loose balls and rebounds, and
Mm-hmm.
if he's open, he could hit the three. That's a concern, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tibbs made a lineup change. I don't know if you specifically asked about it today, but I mean, imagine right now you've had this set lineup all preseason. You got to go with what you've had, but I wouldn't be surprised for a change.
I think he was asked that obviously Tom Thibodeau type of answer. It's he has to talk to Hart or something like that. I
Oh, he
forget what it
did.
was. Yeah, it was something to that
Did he
effect.
say
But
everything's on the table? Everything's on the table is one of his cliches,
he
which could be a 50-50 proposition.
he said we have enough. that was
Okay.
that was the classic thing. Like, as soon as you said that, I knew that we were in regular season mode. As soon as that happened, because that was just like, oh, okay, we were out of preseason now. So, and one thing we have to talk about, we mentioned at the top of the show, it's really the backup center situation. This has actually gotten worse and worse as we continue to look at it. The Knicks actually have made a decision on their backup center situation. More forced to do it though, Mark, because I mean, at this point, you lost Mitchell Robinson until January 2025. That's an estimate, by the way, in terms of rehab. He could miss more time. We have no idea. Preston Achua, he just injures his left hamstring. He strains it out for 2 to 4 weeks. That's an evaluation. Then he has to go do contact, all these other type of things. That's several weeks that he's missing. So we don't know when he's coming back. So right now, Knicks have Karl Anthony Towns. They have Jericho Sims, and to an extent, they have the rookie Ariel Hukporti. So in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, who's going to be the backup? Because the Knicks really haven't shown any type of faith in Jericho Sims over the time he's been there, although maybe injuries had some part to do with it. And Hukporti during the preseason has actually done something where he showed at least something on offense where he's aggressive. It makes it that it's 5-on-5. And if he can rebound, block, and do that on offense, I'm looking at Sims a little bit, Mark, and I'm thinking to myself, well, and this guy can do a pick and roll with Payne and Kolek as well. I'm looking at that. So I think about that, and then I think of the report that I get from Ian Bagley here, where he says that, it's fair to assume that Tom Thibodeau still goes with Sims ahead of Hukporti because of Sims' experience. But he does make the question of, will Sims eventually get that role outplayed from him by Hukporti? And he thinks that that could be the case, given that Tom Thibodeau has been a huge favor to him given preseason. Just your thoughts right now with the Knicks backup center situation. How do you feel about it? And what do you think about Jericho Sims being the backup for this team, a championship contending team in the Knicks?
Well, it's pretty lousy that we're talking about Jericho Sims and Hukporti. I mean, it's lousy that we have to
Right.
analyze them. But Jericho, listen, I covered him, his early in his career, and he just hasn't improved offensively. But he jumps out of the gym. He gets offensive rebounds. He's a live body, but still defensive IQ. Even when I was covering him, he was so often, as to use that word, lost on the defensive end. Sometimes he'd be out of position, and it's still a factor with him. And if Huck Porty could show a little more intelligence on defense, I think he could outplay him. But listen, he's a rookie, so Thibodeau definitely has to go with Jericho initially,
Right.
because he's 4 years in the league, I believe. But I wouldn't be surprised if the kid. I guess he played in Australia. He had some professional playing experience. He's not coming right out of college, so I would imagine Jericho. He is what he is. He's never going to be an offensive player, but it's a lousy situation. Listen, I know there's been talk about a trade, and I like that kid in Charlotte, Richards. He's a big body, 7 foot, gets offensive rebounds. If they could just get him for draft picks, I don't know if Charlotte would be that desperate just to unload him like that. But, I'm sure that Leon and Wes are working the phones at this point with Precious, with a tricky hamstring. Mitchell, it's clear that they're very concerned, even when he comes back. Is he going to get injured again? It's not unlike Mitchell to get multiple injuries in a season. So
right, we just saw it.
With the feet, Mitchell his whole career. I love Mitchell's game. He's unique. No, there's very few players like him. He's a terrific offensive rebounder. I think he could be a great alley-oop guy with Jalen if they play more together. But it's all about health with him, and it's very clear that the Knicks are worried. They see all the X-rays, and if they're shopping him a lot, there may be greater concern than Thibodeau will let on. Naturally, Leon Rose doesn't speak to the media, so we'll never know exactly what he might be thinking. But Huck Porty could eventually edge out Jericho, but I'd love to see Jericho get a shot. He's such an athlete, such a rebounder. Again, defensive IQ is an issue.
It's always been an issue for him. It's also just like he sticks in the paint like an anchor. He doesn't move without the ball a lot. And I think all the centers, right? Even Preston Achua, Tom Thibodeau commented on the other night, when he's moving, he's almost unstoppable because of his force, his athleticism, the way he can attack the rim. Huck Porty the same way. Jericho Sims could do that with the athleticism that he has, but he just doesn't put 2 and 2 together. So I agree. The IQ on the basketball court needs to improve. I hope actually that, with the new bigs that we have, the new big man specialists that we have, with Ella Harrington, Mark Bryant, that he could, develop a little bit. Maybe we'll see that over the course of the time here. If you enjoyed these clips from the live show, be sure to subscribe to the channel and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any new episodes or when we go live. Thanks for watching, Knick fans, and until next time, peace.